count all my fingers and toes, and I am going to need to count my fingers and toes because I'm thick. So £20,000 minus the £15,666.36 equals, he's got £4,333.64 to go before he reaches his target. And you can't tell me that between all the people here today, because there's a good 1,000 people here today, and all the people that are coming tomorrow, that the British Karting International Kart Masters cannot get Noel and Sport for MS to his £20,000 target. And I'm doing the presentation tomorrow evening, and I would like Noel to be able to tell us exactly how much he's raised, and I would hope that the generosity of the karting community would help him get to that £20,000 this weekend. The problem is, though, is if he takes too long and we've got a quick lunch break, we're going to run him over with the first of the afternoon session. So, the last race, luckily, isn't going to start just yet, because this is going on about Charity Drive, which is coming up after this race, and I have neglected to mention it was race number 30, the Senior OK race, the fastest karts we have here. And one of these drivers that you're watching on screen now could potentially be crowned this year's World Karting Champion. The grid is as follows. Dante Yu in Kart 24, the Comp Kart driver from California, starts from pole position. Dante comes into today 10th in the intermediate classification. Alongside him is Mark Kimber in the number 45 Strawberry Racing Tony Kart. And Mark comes into today leading the intermediate standings. 2 wins yesterday for Kimber. Hodgson, Oliver Hodgson, the defending British champion, who is starting on the 5th place, 5th on the grid. He got 2 second places yesterday. Oliver Clark, who we saw having problems in qualifying. He is starting at the back, and a problem for the number 36 of James Lingard, the privateer driver, slow off the line, and that was Juan Sabater, the Spaniard, having to take evasive action, and on the bridge they go, and they flash across the Litchfield Bridge with Dante Yu leading the way. I've seen Dante race maybe once before at the Miami European Open, and apart from that, I know, and the fact that he's from California and he's probably like surfing and stuff, that I don't know very much about him. Other than that, he's a very good kart peddler, and he races for Comp Kart team on the Comp Kart chassis, and is leading last year's Junior Rotax World Champion Mark Kimber at this present stage of proceedings. Luke Knott is 3rd. Luke Knott's had a quiet old run. He had a problem in qualifying yesterday, and then just picked up places one at a time in each of the races, finishes 5th and 4th, and comes into today 4th in the intermediate standings. But it's you, Kimber, Knott, Hodgson, and they flash under the bridge. Jordan Brown-Nutley has not gone out. Now, is that a tyre issue, or is that a retirement issue, or a driver issue, or a broken go-kart issue? I do not know, but not out there, and he didn't go out for qualifying this morning. Oliver Clark, the back of your shot, you'll see a blue and white kart passing one of the S8 racing machines going into the first hairpin, and there's the move for the lead. Well, Mark Kimber made Dante Yu feel most unwelcome in our fair country there, because he went up the inside and just eased Dante wide, and Dante kind of tried to keep it buried in the throttle and eventually found himself on the grass box and has lost 5 places. So it is Hodgson who capitalises on all that. Oliver Hodgson doing what Oliver Hodgson does very well: watch, learn and capitalise when emotions get the better of other drivers. Luke Knott, the very same thing. He's just slotted with the 2nd position, and Luke Knott is now sitting behind Oliver Hodgson. So Strawberry Racing driving from 4th in last year's British Championship, finished 4th in last year's Kart Masters Grand Prix in Senior OK. And Kimber is 3rd. Up to 4th place now has come Rasmus Lind. Kimber in on his teammate Knott at the second hairpin and makes the move. Lind in the Fusion Motorsport number 12 is 3rd. Then is the number 8 Fullerton kart of Archie Tillett. So Archie Tillett having a good run. And his dad Steve watching there in the grandstand. Oh, and that is Scott Mackerel, I believe, in the number 26 Fusion kart, who is out of the race. Hodgson trying to pull away. Kimber, Knott and Lint chasing. You can see Mackerel heading back towards the marshalling post. The leader's behind the top 4. There's a gap of 1 second back to Archie Tillett. You can see Oliver Hodgson on the screen there. He's at a 56.350. And then as he came down the hill, he's adjusting the carbon settings, he's adjusting the mixer, he's kind of putting his hand over the radiator to adjust the amount of air going into the engine. And this, especially in the Grand Prix tomorrow, in the pre-final, which are longer races, you will see the drivers really working. They won't have 2 hands on the wheel at all times. They'll be adjusting the kart, adjusting the setting, calculating when they need to kind of go out and out fast, when they can conserve a little bit of engine temperature, a little bit of tyre energy. It's a fantastic tactical battle. It's not all about just putting your right foot down and turning. Rasmus Lind is closing in, so we've got the Birrell ART of Hodgson. Then we've got the 2 Tony karts of Kimber and Knott. Behind that we have then the Spirit, which is effectively a luminous orange or purple. It's a luminous orange Tony kart. It's an OTK product, and he's gone past Luke Knott now. And so Lint into 3rd position. Behind them there's a 1.3 second gap back to Archie Tillett. And Tillett in the Fullerton chassis. He finished 5th a year ago. Well, he's 5th now. There's Archie in the Fullerton kart. Then it's Dante Yu. You just saw Dante flashing into the top of your screen onto the main straight. Behind Dante Yu is Ewan Wilson. So the S8 Racing number 11 of Ewan Wilson, who has been going so well. There is Yu, and there's Ewan Wilson going through the screen. And Hodgson a 56.06 lap. So Wilson is in 6th. Rory Hudson in kart number 44, the Thule Motorsport number 44. Another driver having a quiet weekend, but Hudson, he's getting to the end of the races. 10th and 9th yesterday, running 8th now and improving. Jake Douglas for S8 Racing is next. Then Spain's Juan Sabater in kart number 23, running at a very impressive 10th, considering that he'd not been here before Thursday and wasn't planning on being here until about a week or so ago. Laura Tillett runs in 11th place. And Laura in number 16. That is the Tillett Racing Citroën Birrell chassis. Rasmus Lind second in the fastest lap. Behind Tillett is Jesse Lingard. And James Lingard. And number 36 kart, privateer run effort. Tony Kart chassis. Driver from who's 12th in the current Super 1 British Championship. You can see the privateers just still having a go. We've lost the other privateer, Ben Waldridge. He's retired. So is Scott Mackerel. Oliver Clark has gone out, and Callum Bradshaw is no longer there. Now, I haven't seen any of the, well, apart from Scott Mackerel, who has obviously had a kart issue of some kind. Have the rest started playing the tactical game, I wonder? I will leave it there. If I don't know, Hodgson has got no intention of doing anything other than win this race. Luke Knott has got other ideas, however. In 4th place, he does a 55.70 lap. That's a mighty impressive effort. Kimber's going quicker on this lap. He's in the purple first sector, and he's closed right in on Oliver Hodgson. As they come out of the second hairpin, see Tillett there in 5th and Dante Yu in 6th position, and Oh, Hodgson and Kimber exchanging fastest sectors. Kimber puts in an effort, Hodgson responds, Kimber ups his game even more, and the thing to notice is that Rasmus Lint and Luke Knott are going with him. They're not being dropped. So as Hodgson and Kimber improve and improve, Lint goes into the 55.64. 2 minutes to go. And there's Luke Knott. He looks at the inside of Rasmus Lint. Oh, side by side of the bridge. Rasmus Lint up the grass on the banking. And he sets the fastest lap of the race. And of course, he was towing Luke Knott along as he set that lap. And Luke said, well, I got the momentum. I got to go. Sorry. And Lint tried to fight it. He hasn't lost much ground, but he's lost about 10 kart lengths. Has lost a position. We're down to 11 drivers because James Lingard is now retired. And in the back of the pack, we've got there's Laura Tillett chasing the two S8 racing karts of Jake Douglas and Juan Sabater. And Hudson in 8th, and the rest of the field is quite spread out. This is the top 3, and Tillett and Dante Yu. Dante Yu is closing in on Archie Tillett for 5th position as they go under the bridge for the 10th time with 90 seconds to go. Kimber looking strong last time around. Kimber to the 55.54, Hodgson to 55.51, but they're getting quicker and quicker as the race goes on. I don't want to count any meteorological chickens, but the cloud cover that was so low over the circuit is now lifting a little bit, just in time for the lunch break, and I'm sure it will come back for the afternoon session. But you closing in on Tillett. Good battle between the S8 racing drivers going through the thing that Jim France and Alex Short will be kind of saying, well, as long as they don't hit each other, because otherwise they'll have to go and beat them up in the morning. But there's Hodgson extending his advantage again. 55.54. Kimber responds almost identical times. Luke Knott goes even faster. 55.47 for Luke Knott. Rasmus Lint has he's conceded that he's not going to be any better than fourth, and he's eased back, and you can see that he's dropped nearly 2 seconds back from that. He's checking over his shoulder as they come down the hill to see how close Archie Tillett and Dante Yu are, and he's thinking, well, I don't want to push things anymore, but I don't want them to pass me. Hodgson cannot relax an inch. Kimber is quicker than Hodgson through sector number 1. Luke Knott was quicker than the pair of them. Luke Knott continuing on another very strong lap. Now, is he going to get up to his teammate as the clock strikes 0? Oliver Hodgson will see the last lap board, the driver from Coventry, driving the number 1 Birrell ART for the Paul Fletcher International Team. The last lap board goes out. The 2 Strawberry Racing teammates chasing hard. Won't give Hodgson a moment's respite onto the banking. In fact, Kimber's within about 3 kart lengths. I think Mark Kimber is contemplating a little dabble up the inside of Hodgson going into the 2nd hairpin. Let's have a look. Round hairpin number 1. Oh, still a little bit far back. No, I think he was Hodgson inch perfect, as one would expect from the British champion. And Kimber, then you see Kimber checking over his shoulder to see where Luke Knott is. So Mark Kimber now knows, well, Luke's not going to get me, I'm not going to get him. So let's just get to the end of this one. Rory Hudson. Oh, and there's Laura Tillett battling with Jake Douglas going into the Fullerton S's, but all on his own. You can see the way that he just glides over the curbs there at the Mike Wilson complex. Oliver Hodgson takes the checkered flag from Kimber and Knott. Lint in 4th. Archie Tillett held on to 5th, followed by Dante Yu. Ewan Wilson finishes 7th ahead of Rory Hudson in 8th. And who wins the battle of the S8 karts? It is Spain's Juan Sabater. And I think that's Sabater on our screen there. He looks quite pleased with that. Jake Douglas finishes 10th. Laura Tillett rounds out the finishers. Everybody else stopped. And we will now stop for lunch. The action on the track will not stop. And although I'm going to provide commentary on what is a very serious thing, I have explained that if you go to the Sport for MS area in the paddock, see the orange buckets, the orange area, that is Noel's charity. And I will remind you once again, all you kart masters, lovely people, I've don't know if this applies to anybody that's watching the live stream, because I wouldn't know how you would donate money, but we are £4,333.64 shy of Noel's Sport for MS target of 20.